Welcome to week 4, everyone. I hope you're doing really good. This week, we're talking about the tale of limited resources and kind of the motivation around colonization, particularly European colonization. Our readings are chapter 2 about Easter Island. I'm having you read this chapter and then watch a pretty significant video, because one of the things that I really like about the video on Easter Island is the fact that it calls out some of the issues in Diamond. And I kind of like that. So the video is by another historian who's looked more contemporary at some more of the contemporary research around Easter Island, and how their use of limited resources is a little bit more ingenious than we're kind of giving them credit for in Diamond. And so that's part of the reason why I like that juxtaposition. In Montgomery this week, and part of the story of Easter Island, by the way, is the story of colonization. And so the other thing we're talking about this week is colonization, particularly European colonization. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue and found a land inhabited by a bunch of people, found an island inhabited by a bunch of people. So when we talk about colonization, particularly European colonization, a huge motivator for Europe to try and find better trade routes is the fact that they were out of resources. They had decimated their forests. There was huge issues with European forests. They had cut them down a bunch of times. They were not regrowing. They had converted most of that land to agriculture, yet lumber was a huge driver, like a huge demand. And so as we start to find trade routes, turns out some of the more recent information about Columbus's journey, he might have actually had maps from the 1480 journey or 1480s journeys of Chinese junk fleets who explored the world long before Columbus did. And so he might have actually had a map and known that this whole area, all of North and South America, already existed. But we'll talk about the motivation to make colonies for resource exploitation. Colonization is 100% about resource exploitation. We see when European settlers get to the Western Hemisphere, they are settling and exploiting the resources and sending a lot of them back to England. If you think about what the colonies were doing, they are cutting down forests to create lumber, particularly ship masts and things like that, shipping that all the way back. Cotton, the cotton trade, where we have slavery, the cotton trade, grow cotton, send it back to Europe. Sugar trade, everything we see down in the Caribbean, same sort of thing. The tobacco trade. Tobacco becomes such a huge crop in the United States, not because Europe had been already smokers, it's because they started exporting tobacco back to Europe. And we also see huge import crops coming into the United States, like tea and coffee, and slaves. The slave trade is a huge part of this colonization story as well. So this week, we're going to kind of be putting together this idea of limited resources, particularly how you get limited resources. Some places start off with more limited resources. Some places decimate their resources and go find more in other places. Definitely a story of civilizations. And so that's what we're going to be doing this week. This week is also our first quiz. So quiz 1 will be over weeks 1 through 3. It is not over week 4. We also have an Easter Island summary. Oh, the quiz is open Thursday morning at 8 a.m. and closed Sunday at 11:59. Do not start the quiz at 11:50 on Sunday. It will close after 10 minutes. So also do not take quizzes that late at night. Like you should really take them when you're kind of in your best headspace. I give you 4 days to take these quizzes, so don't wait. Also make sure you've done the readings, you watch the videos, you feel like you're prepared to take these quizzes. The quizzes are not meant to be gotchas. I'm not asking you things like, in what year did blah, blah, blah. I hate things like that, mostly because I can never remember years. So I don't ask those kind of questions. I ask more like apply, explain, which are good examples of, etc. The idea is to make sure that you're engaging with the materials. There is no group work. There's no group discussion this week as well. That's because on the 5th, which is next Monday, that is when your presentations are due. So I'm not having a group discussion for you this week, so you can use the time that you're doing to finish prepping and record your lecture, your presentation. Please don't post the video. I want you to post a link. So put your video up on Zoom, turn off the security settings, post it to YouTube. I want you to post a link because there's often issues downloading videos when groups actually upload their videos. So please don't do that. And so your group time this week is to be used finishing those videos. I'm really looking forward to them. I hope you've found it interesting learning about those civilizations. And that's what we're doing this week. All right, everybody, have a great week.